On this edition of Talking Preps, we're joined by Jill Miller, the head softball coach at Little Elm, Texas. How are you this morning?
I am doing wonderful. How are you doing this morning?
Doing well, doing well. Well, you're one of the first coaches we've actually talked to whose season was cut short by the pandemic. How did that process play out for you all?
It was rough. I'm not going to lie. We had a great season last year, going 5 rounds deep in the playoffs, missing the state tournament by 1 round. School history record. It was an amazing team. I had all but starters. We had, at the end of that last game last year, we had set our goals to go to Austin this year. So when that final decision came down, it was pretty rough. I know I cried. Several of my girls were not happy. Took a lot of time to process, and it was not a pleasant message on a Friday.
I can imagine, and especially being an outside sport, as I can see, it's sunny there, it's sunny here. That's got to make it more frustrating. Even though time has passed, it's still kind of hard to believe it's happened, hasn't it? Or have you gotten past that?
Oh no, I haven't gotten past it. It's because I sit there and I think every day, well, man, I should be going to practice, or we should be getting ready for whatever round of the playoffs. I can't even remember. I think this would be round 2 or 3. It's every day I go outside and I'm sitting there thinking I should be on a ball field right now. I should not be stuck in my house in McKinney, Texas.
So how have you been able, or have you maintained keeping everybody together and doing Zooms and virtual meetings, or did you just kind of say that's it and we'll move on and get ready for next year when that comes?
A little of both. I did have one Zoom meeting. I also teach special ed and I help in the geometry classroom, so I've been quite busy with that since March, since we came home. But we've had group text messages. We've done some weekly character lessons that we think are very important with our character program, 2 words. And we've Zoomed, and I've talked to the seniors. Seniors did an interview with the local paper as well. And we actually did our quote unquote senior day last Saturday on our field, where just the seniors got to come out with their parents. We had our announcer come out and we did a whole introduction, and they were introduced, and their teammates did a great job of getting gifts together for them and making it as memorable as possible. So we've stayed in some type of contact.
Awesome. And we see on the Twitter feed I saw where you posted the Zoom meeting. That's cool. Everybody's involved. Mm-hmm. How important is it to keep kids in a structure right now? Because it's kind of willy-nilly, and we know what happens when they get out of routine.
Yeah, 100%. And it is very important to keep these kids in structure. And it's amazing how many of our kids, not just our athletes, but some of our other students. One of my managers, she emails me or she texts me almost daily. I miss school. I want to be back in school. I don't like being home. And I personally am seeing that more and more versus the kids you think don't want to be there. They miss it. They miss the structure. They like the structure. They like the bell to bell. They like the routine of their day. So it's been an adjustment for everybody. And it's the one thing that I can say that some of our kids have learned from it is you going on to college, you're going to have to learn some of your own time management skills.
No question. What's one of the biggest things that, as a result of this, that you've learned that you can apply to coaching moving forward?
Oh, absolutely. So we played one district game right before we went on spring break, which eventually became the end of our face-to-face school year. And that was a Tuesday night, and we played great with the exception of 1 inning. And then we had practice Wednesday and then practice Thursday. And by that time, we kind of had an idea that they were going to shut us down, at least delay us. We weren't exactly sure at that point. But after practice, I pulled the girls together and I said, one of the biggest takeaways from this is you need to realize that you need to play every play like it could be your last, because you never know when your last opportunity to come to play, to get to do what you love is going to happen. You don't know if you're going to get to say goodbye to it or if it's going to say goodbye to you, if it's going to be taken. You don't know. So you need to do anything you do in sports and in life with the intensity that it could be the last time you get to do it.
You mentioned you're involved in other things with the special ed and geometry, but how hard has it been to not be on the field doing what you do?
It's been a big struggle for me personally. I love softball. I've grown up with it my whole life. I give lessons on the side, and I love these group of girls. This is probably one of the favorite group of girls I've ever coached in 19 years of being in education. So it's tough. Every day I think about, man, I should be planning a practice. We should be doing this. I talk to my assistant coach. We talk about what we should be doing, where would we be right now, who would we possibly be playing. It's been really tough for me.
Yeah, we mentioned the kids being in a routine, but it's just as important for us adults too to be in a routine as well, and that's part of the routine. So how do you fill that time, or do you try not to think about it? I mean, how do you approach that?
I've talked to some other coaches about that, and it's almost like I've lost all sense of time management. My day is so structured. Normally I get to school at 7 o'clock, and every 55 minutes a bell rings and I go to another classroom, and then I have my conference period where we play in practice, and then we end our day with about 2.5, 3 hours of physical activity, or quote unquote PE, because we love doing it and we love being there. And it's time management's been a huge thing for me to have to learn to stay focused and get things done here as well.
I'm with you there. Time management's never been one of my strengths either. You're moving up in classification next year, so this was going to be the last year in 5A. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yes.
So, what will be the challenge next year as you move up, or will there be really how much difference will there be?
So there's always going to be a difference. One of the things for us is we're losing 4 starters. And those are all key players that we're losing, or you're losing your pitcher, your shortstop, your center fielder, and your right fielder. So 3 of your up the middle positions, which are some of your more key positions, are going to be gone. So that's going to be a challenge within. And there's some really good teams in 6A. The competition's better. The schools are bigger. There's more of a talent pool to draw from. And our goal is to continue to be a successful program and stay in the mix of going to the playoffs and see where we go.
I would imagine a lot of your players, obviously looking to develop over the summer, play summer ball, and that's kind of in a hiatus right now. So how can they improve, and how much of an effect is this pandemic going to have on player development?
Well, a lot of the associations have set start dates, and they're allowing like small group practices right now, 1 coach, 4 players, things like that. And a lot of my girls, they work out on their own. They'll get out there, they'll hit, they'll make their brother, their sibling, sister, whoever, parent go out and play catch with them, hit balls to them. They'll do a lot of their own strength and conditioning. We send them workouts. A lot of their club teams have weekly workouts that they have to do, and weekly quote unquote at home challenges, which are small skill challenges and skill development. So they're taking a lot of the initiative on their own to stay in playing shape.
Well, that's good. That eases the burden on you to kind of keep everybody going too. And I would imagine those are the kind of kids that are fun to coach too, that are self-motivated.
Oh, they are. They're a lot of fun to coach. Being self-motivated just makes it that much easier for us, and because we can work that much harder, and they love it. It almost, in a good way, challenges us to be better coaches, because we can do more and we have to think more and work harder and sometimes think outside the box a little bit more to keep these girls motivated and keep them challenged.
Well, speaking outside the box, how would you like to play our quick quiz?
I would love to play our quick quiz as long as it's not graded.
Here we go. Once this gets back to normal, whatever normal is, are you more likely to take the family out for a haircut or a meal?
Oh, a haircut. We've already gone out to eat, so definitely a haircut.
Can you play a musical instrument?
No.
If you're going to grill, most likely to grill beef, chicken, or pork?
Pork ribs
Sounds good.
every weekend.
Yes.
We smoke it. We smoke them every weekend.
All right. Last movie you saw in a theater?
The last Star Wars movie, I think.
You remembered. A lot of people don't remember. And final question, most likely to be in your playlist, rock and roll or country?
Both equally.
We'll take that. We'll take that. That's a good answer. Well, Jill, thank you so much for visiting with us. And hopefully we can get back to normal. And when we do, we'll love to check in with you and talk some more Lobo softball.
Absolutely. We'd love to do that.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too.